If our Department of Defense wants to defend America, we should be defending our border and not proclaiming our righteousness, talking about a war in Ukraine. With that, Mr. Speaker, I yield.
Gentlewoman's time has expired. The gentlewoman from California is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I request an Advil and yield 1 minute to Representative Joe Wilson from South Carolina.
I'm sure many of us can relate to Democratic Representative Sidney Kamlager when dealing with our least favorite coworkers. We all have that one who just won't shut up, and sometimes our exasperation gets the better of us and we say the quiet part out loud. The quiet part in this case, of course, is that this coworker is making our heads explode. And not for the first time. I've been covering Marjorie Taylor Greene's ongoing grievances against the war in Ukraine and the US's role in it. And while I actually do agree with many of the points she raises, for one, that the blank check we are sending to Ukraine in terms of weapons shipments needs to be subject to more congressional debate and scrutiny, all of her grandstanding and theatrics is starting to make it seem like she doesn't actually care about ceasing the war in Eastern Europe as much as she does profiting off of the headlines she gets for railing about it. If she could just exert this much energy and passion on banding together with her colleagues across the aisle to actually do something about our grievances, we would all certainly appreciate it. It's a strategy that one of her colleagues on the far right is actually doing already. Last week, Matt Gaetz said that he will co-sponsor a measure to block President Biden from sending cluster bombs to Ukraine, joining a very small group of Democrats, including Ilhan Omar, on an amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act. And this amendment would ban the sale and transfer of cluster munitions worldwide. The worldwide is important here. And although Matt Gaetz is so wrong on so many issues and has caused the left headache after headache, this kind of bipartisanship that snakes around the powerful hold the center has on political life is truly invaluable. When it comes to weapons shipments, putting party politics aside is crucial, as these amendments are quite literally life and death amendments for thousands of civilians who might be subject to the wrath of these bombs. But at the same time as this amendment was gaining bipartisan support, none other than Marjorie Taylor Greene was concocting her own amendment, much narrower in scope, that only applied to cluster shipments to Ukraine rather than globally. And there's a reason MTG was at the center of it. Just Foreign Policy argued that centrist war hawks, quote, hope that having MTG lead the vote will reduce the vote total opposing Biden's transfer. And they have several strong reasons to think so. Polls show she is deeply unpopular. She just got expelled from the Freedom Caucus, and she burns bridges with anti-war Democrats. So despite Marjorie Taylor Greene aligning with the left on certain issues, the rift she has caused thus far and the chaos and contempt she has and continues to sow in Congress have had lasting effects on her ability to affect the changes she keeps screaming about. She represents a broken Congress, and I don't blame her colleagues in Congress for wanting some antidote to all the pain she's caused. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.